Hi everyone, this is 5th grade Elevate. Today we are working on lesson 55 on subtracting whole numbers. So this lesson is nice because it includes a flow chart that students can work through to be able to help them process whether they are subtracting correctly or incorrectly. And so we are going to use this flow chart for this video in order for you to help students with their practice problems. I don't think it's necessarily important for you to go through these 3 questions when you are modeling for students. I think you can use the flow chart as you are modeling the first set of questions right here. So I don't think it's important for you to go through the flow chart for some time and then model. Just jump right into the model, but tell students that you are going to utilize the flow chart to help you with the model. The flow chart is also going to be something that you are going to want to reference when you see students are stuck. So again, for the purposes of this video, I will go through these 3 questions with the flow chart so you can understand how to support students when they are stuck. So the first step of the flow chart says to take each place value separately, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, right? This is important because in the first few questions that students are going to be exposed to, the digits are written in alignment. However, later on in the lesson, you will see that students are having to wean themselves off of putting the numbers in the box, of having the numbers being given to them in the boxes to having to line up their own digits. And so this is a very important step to ask students, are these digits lined up correctly? Are the ones with the ones, the tens with the tens, and the hundreds with the hundreds? Once students are able to identify that, yes, these digits are lined up correctly, then we jump into our first step for subtraction. We want to ask ourselves, is the top number always starting in the ones place, right? Is that top number greater than the bottom number? In this case, yes, it is, right? 8 is greater than 5. Yes. So then it tells us to go ahead and subtract. So 8 minus 5 gives me 3. Nice. From there, it tells us to move to the next higher place value and ask yourself the question again. The question that they're referencing is this one. Is the top number greater than the bottom number? So it says move to the next highest place value, which is my tens place. Is the top number greater than the bottom number? Yes, it is. I need to go ahead and subtract then. So 7 minus 1 gives me 6. Great. Move to the next highest place value. Is the top number greater than the bottom number? Yes, it is. So then I can go ahead and subtract then. And I get 2, giving me a total answer of 263. From there, let's look at example number 2. Example number 2 is going to produce for us a different result using our flow chart. So always starting in the ones place, as we did in the previous problem, we have the numbers 2 and 8, right? We have 2 ones, take away 8 ones. Asking ourselves this question, is the top number greater than the bottom number? No, it is not. 2 is not greater than 8. So then we have to regroup. It says take a set of 10 from the next higher place value. Okay, so because 2 is not larger than 8, I have to then take away 1 10 from the tens place. So instead of 5, if I take away 1 from 5, I now get 4 tens that are left in the tens place, right? And that 1 that I took away from the tens place is going to be regrouped as 10 ones. So this is very important for conceptual understanding. One $10 bill is the same thing, is the same value as 10 $1 bills. So all we did was regroup that. I'll say that again. One $10 bill is the same value as 10 $1 bills. They're both $10. So that's all we did. So now instead of 2 ones, we have a total of 12 ones that we are starting out with, okay? That is called regrouping. So because now the top number, which is 12, is greater than the bottom number, which is 8, we can go ahead and subtract. So 12 minus 8 gives me 4. Nice. After I'm done with my ones place, I then move to the next higher place value. So I move to the tens place. Remember, I no longer start out with 5 tens. I'm now starting out with 4 tens because I regrouped one of them, right? So 4 take away 3 gives me 1. Nice, easy math because my top number was greater than my bottom number. I can now move on to the hundreds place. I see that my top number is greater than my bottom number. 9 take away 4 is 5. Amazing. Okay. Now, example 3 is probably the trickiest type of question that students get because there are zeros in the digits, right? Some of the digits are 0, sorry. And so here is a tidbit. It says sometimes when you try to regroup, there is a 0 you are taking from. In that case, you need to go up another higher place value to regroup or take from. So let's talk through example 3. So following the steps, the first question we need to ask ourselves is the top number greater than the bottom number? 0 is not greater than 9, right? So in a typical example, we would move to our tens place and try to change that $10 bill to 10 $1 bills. However, what we see is that we don't have any tens. So we then have to go to the hundreds place. And in the hundreds place, we have 6 hundreds. We can take away 100 from 600s, right? So when we take away 100s from 600s, we are left with 500s, right? And then that 100 that we took away from the 600s, we are going to regroup that as 10 tens. $100 bill, one $100 bill is the same as 10 $10 bills. Okay. And so now that there are 10 tens, I, as the ones place, can borrow 1 from the tens place. So if I borrow 1 from the tens place, or if I regroup, I now am left with 9 tens. And the 1 that I took away from the tens turns to my 10 $1 bills. So then I can go ahead and subtract. I say, okay, now I have a larger number on top. 10 minus 9 gives me 1. Nice. Moving over to the tens place, I have 9 left. 9 take away 4 gives me 5. Amazing. And then in the hundreds place, my top number is greater than my bottom number, so I can do 5 take away 2, which is 3. And then in my thousands place, I don't have any digits to subtract. That subtraction sign should have been here, and there should have been a 0, by the way. But 8 take away nothing is 8, right? So these are the questions. When you see students are getting stuck or they're getting the wrong answer, you definitely want to ask them, are the digits lined up? If they are, then have students ask themselves, is the top number greater than the bottom number? If it's yes, they can go ahead and subtract. If it's no, then they have to follow the regroup process before they subtract within that particular place value.